How does a confidence coach and the founder of a confidence company build their confidence? That's a question that we get all the time on this channel and in our coaching, and particularly how I, as the founder of Catch, built my own confidence, the outcomes that it's produced in my life, and what then inspired me to set up Catch and help other people with their confidence and becoming unstoppable. In this video, I'll walk you through my personal confidence routine as of 2026, how I keep my foundations of confidence, how I continually build self-awareness, and bring in routines and tools to overcome limiting beliefs, whether that's ones that have stayed with me from childhood or new limiting beliefs that I identify as I start working towards new outcomes or desires in life. And we'll go through routines, processes, and practical tips that you can put in place yourself. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to start your confidence journey with a plan. Welcome to the YouTube channel for Catch. My name is Sam and I'm the founder here at Catch. Unshakable confidence is the key to getting everything that you want in life and dating. So on this channel, we help you to build that unshakable confidence and become the most unstoppable version of you. If you want to work with us in any way, all that information is in the description box below, where you can book coaching and workbooks to help you build your confidence at home, plus a free to enter competition with prizes of up to £250. So check those all out below. So the foundation of my confidence routine is exercise and having a fitness practice. I've talked about this in several videos before, that exercise and committing to an exercise regimen, whether that's team sports, the gym, running, even walking, is key to success. The reason for this is that committing to a routine, meeting those commitments to yourself, tells yourself over and over again that you are worthy, you are good enough, and you are deserving of all the things that you want out of life. Plus, exercise releases endorphins, it makes us feel good, and research has shown that those who exercise regularly feel more confident in themselves and in their body, even if their body doesn't physically change through regular exercise. And that's because you are showing yourself self-love through that regular exercise practice. And the final reason that exercise is so important is that it takes something which is seemingly impossible and makes it possible. It's a tangible way of showing yourself that you can set a goal that feels impossible at the start. You can put a plan in place, work towards that over time, and achieve it. And you only have to go on social media to see that there are 80-year-olds who can barely walk, going to the gym and starting to deadlift, or people who are breaking records in terms of running, tennis, swimming. All the time, we as humans are constantly improving. It doesn't matter what age or what fitness level you currently have or what practice you put in place, there is always something that you will enjoy and get something out of. And what does that look like for me? Well, I did have an injury about 18 months ago now. Prior to that, I was very much into the gym, into bodybuilding. I've talked about this on the channel before. After the injury, I had to scale it back and not exercise for several months. Then was doing Pilates and yoga 3 to 4 times a week because that was really helping to get all of the muscles back into alignment and repair the injury and was lower strain. Now that that injury is pretty much resolved, I'm now doing a mix of physio, yoga or Pilates once a week. I've started short distance running, which is something that's new, and involving a couple of weights workouts a week, i.e. a hybrid training plan, and getting back into it. It's also been lovely weather here in London this summer. It's been extremely hot, so early morning walks and evening walks have become part of my routine. And the way that I stay committed to exercise is putting it into the diary. So I'll put it in my diary just like social plans or work plans, and make sure that I commit to that so that I can hit a certain amount of times per week. And I won't make plans when the gym is in the diary Or I'll make sure, if I do make plans, I just swap it with another evening so that time is reserved and there's no excuses. And that goes on to my second point, which is having a self-care practice and a self-care routine. Now, for me, that looks like looking after my skin and having a timetable, which I have on my mirror in my bathroom. It looks like looking after my hair, having regular nail appointments, hair appointments to keep myself groomed, because that helps me feel good about myself. And again, it feels like I'm investing in myself and looking after myself by doing that. And I also see it as a relaxing, indulgent activity. So by taking care of myself intentionally, it boosts my confidence as well. Now, it doesn't have to look like personal grooming for you. There might be other elements of your self-care routine that you like to work on. It might be taking care of your home, looking after plants, looking after animals, volunteering, something that feels like you're investing in yourself and pursuing areas of interest or personal hygiene. Being strict on these areas, again, is you showing yourself that you're worthy of investing in, worthy of committing to, and it keeps your mind focused on something productive, even when there might be difficult circumstances in your life or a challenge that you're overcoming. Having an exercise routine and a self-care routine is grounding, and it shows yourself that you are important regardless of what's going on around you. The third most important pillar is nervous system regulation. And what we mean by that is there's two states that your nervous system can be in, which is an active state or a rest and digest state. And what we want is our nervous system to be able to switch on, and we want to be productive when we have strong feelings about something and we know that we need to put a boundary in place when there's danger, physical or emotional danger, and we need to get away. That activated fight, flight, freeze, fawn response very much plays a role in productivity and healthy levels of stress and activation, or when you're pushing towards a new goal or perhaps in the gym. We also want to use that rest and digest state to be able to properly relax, process thoughts and emotions, to be able to switch off and sleep well, which is critical for health. A healthy nervous system is one that can shift between activation and then process and go back to rest and digest in a healthy way. The challenge with modern life is that we are so overstimulated throughout the day. Email pings, text messages, social media notifications. We are getting bombarded with information and frequently being distracted when our brain and our body has not caught up with this way of living. So our brain and body is more attuned to deep work and intense periods of focus and then having time to relax. Unfortunately, with our attention being scattered into all these different places, that's contributing to anxious thoughts, emotional dysregulation, and perhaps even playing into mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, or even linked to some neurodivergent symptoms as well, or people that experience those symptoms. And because of that, many of us are spending too much time in that active nervous system state and find it very difficult to get into rest and digest. We need to be intentional and carve out space to regulate our nervous system, down-regulate it when we need and up-regulate it when we need, using breathwork techniques, meditation, even just sitting in silence without any music or podcast or television, and just sitting on the spot and breathing in and out slowly, or even reading a book or going for a walk without music. Anything to help ground, connect back to nature, and connect internally. Having a regulated nervous system means that we're better able to identify and process anxious thoughts, fearful, doubtful thoughts, and emotions, and be able to sit with them. And once we acknowledge them and identify them and where perhaps they're coming from, we can move through them because we face them head on. When we're overstimulated or distracted, what we can do is push those emotions down, push those thoughts down and not address them, but they keep whirring in the background and driving our behavior. And we've talked about this in many of our recent dating confidence videos, where it can show up as anxious or avoidant attachment styles, which are both forms of insecure attachment style, because these automatic stories and patterns keep on playing in the background and we aren't effectively dealing with them. So by regulating our nervous system, we give our brain and our body the space for these thoughts and emotions to come up and process them. We give more space for positive emotions to come up and to sit in those and make the most of them. And it also means that with that increased self-awareness of identifying any doubtful or fearful thoughts or emotions, when it becomes a pattern or frequent, we can work on the underlying belief. So we'll come on to that shortly. But by regulating your nervous system, not only do you process negative thoughts and emotions more, so you naturally go to an elevated mood and state, but you also cultivate more self-awareness to deliberately tackle those limiting beliefs and go from confident to unstoppable in any area of life. My favourite way of regulating my nervous system at the moment, as it has been nice weather this summer, is just to sit outside, sit on the balcony, or even sit by a window, sit in silence, listen to the birds and the nature outside, and just take that all in. It doesn't need to be a formal meditation, it doesn't need to be a structured yoga class. It can just be 5-10 minutes, completely disconnected from technology, and you'll be surprised how much wisdom and intuition appears when you just let yourself sit. So give that a try and let me know how you get on. The fourth thing that I do is get very clear on the outcomes that I want and stay positive and intentional about those outcomes. So once a year in January, some friends and I have a routine where we get together and set our goals for the year, and we'll challenge each other on not only the goals that we want to achieve that are tangible outcomes, but how do we want to shift in our being? How do we want to be different? Perhaps we want to be more go with the flow, or more courageous, or more ourselves, or more silly. We'll come up with some being statements and some outcomes that we want to achieve. And we print those and have that up in the house so that we can look at them. And then throughout the year, we check in with each other as to how we're doing and assess where we are, and then keep refining throughout the year. There is a body of research called positive psychology, which backs this up, which is if we think more positively about what we want to achieve, we're not only more likely to feel positively about the outcome because we're deliberately cultivating that, but we're more likely to achieve the outcome as well. So by having those outcomes, committing to them, making it a group activity, putting them around your home, the more you read them, it starts embedding in your brain that it's possible. Each time you read it, our brain automatically visualizes it. So if we have on that, I want to buy a house, I want to have a yacht trip, I want to go on this holiday, each time you read it, your brain automatically visualizes it. And our brain is a seeking mechanism. That means if we have a goal and we're frequently visualizing it, our brain and body will help us navigate towards it subconsciously. Even if we're not taking active steps in that direction that we're conscious of, it will better spot the opportunities to make that goal come true. It will lead us in that direction. And we did a recent video on trust and faith, whereby we talk about the trust element of this. So letting the universe, or letting God or Allah or whomever you believe in, or whatever you believe in, surprise you. So by having these goals laid out and frequently looking at them and being accountable to a group, you're more likely to take conscious steps. Your brain will be helping steer you in an unconscious way because you're constantly reading it and navigating it in that direction. And you're more likely to put that energy out there and receive it back from the universe or whatever bigger spiritual beliefs you may have, whereby opportunities will come your way and you're better able to identify them and believe that they are for you because you know where you're going. And visualization is a technique frequently used by athletes. They will visualize winning the fight, winning the race, getting a specific time, and they will do this repeatedly alongside their physical training. And it's part of their mindset and confidence development. And they learn to tune out all of the competition and what's going on around them and stay focused on that goal. So that's what you're doing here. We're taking positive psychology Visualization used by athletes and bringing that into day-to-day life. So number 4 is getting clear on the outcomes that you want, having a group to be accountable to if possible, and having it somewhere visually available to you. Now, if you don't like a printout, you could have regular reminders in your diary. You could have it in the front of your journal if you like to write. You could even, have some goals on a bookmark if you're a reader. Get creative about how you can keep reminding yourself. Step 5 is I will focus on becoming the version of me that has the outcome that I want. So as well as working towards the tangible outcome, I mentioned about these being shifts. So how do I want to be different? And what that can look like is, if I want to get fit, I need to start identifying and shifting my identity to become someone who frequently exercises and it's effortless for them. It's something they enjoy. So how do I show up as and become that person? What kind of mindset would they have? What kind of behaviors would they have? How would they approach life? They would probably approach exercise as a core commitment. They would look at it with positivity. They would feel grateful for being able to exercise, physically able to exercise and have the time to do so, or be able to make the time to do so. They would be grateful for the opportunity to be involved in that. They would make the most of it. They would go even if they're feeling tired. So what are those behaviors and those mindsets? And start embodying that version of yourself. And apply this to any area of life. So if you want to become someone who's confident in dating and unstoppable in dating, it's about putting yourself out there, even if you might get rejected. It might be showing up as the chivalrous, kind, trustworthy man, even if you don't get results straight away, because that's just the kind of man that you are, the kind of partner that you're looking for with equal values, morals, and integrity. This does 2 things. So by focusing on the version of you, 1, you're embodying the new identity, so it helps draw those outcomes towards you and make them feel more possible. But it also shifts your energy from trying to control and analyze what's going on around you and from external validation to an internal locus of control and validation and internal power. And we did a video on this recently about the difference between performing confidence and becoming confident, so we'll link that down below. Talks about similar themes. But becoming that version of you will help you get the outcome sooner, because you are the person who already has it, and it means that you can hold on to it. But also it shifts how you validate to that internal validation, which in itself boosts your confidence, because you're not looking outside of you for confidence any longer. And if there's a hiccup or something doesn't go your way, you can take accountability and look internally and figure out, okay, what do I need to do differently next time? What can I learn from this and implement? And this is a common mindset that you will see in entrepreneurs and athletes. Entrepreneurs will look at a market, perhaps their business isn't doing well, and perhaps there's a recession, perhaps there's bumps in the market, perhaps there's, like now there's a cost of living crisis, so people can't afford as much discretionary spending as they used to. But none of this will affect an entrepreneur's mindset. They will take full accountability and say, my business and its success is entirely in my control. So if people are struggling for money and there's difficult circumstances, I need to pivot the products and services that I offer. I need to do new marketing. Perhaps I need to pause this business or close it and shift somewhere else. Perhaps I need a different team. Perhaps I, as the entrepreneur, need to do something different. So they will take full accountability for their results, even if there are many circumstances outside of their control. And that is a winner mindset. So showing up as that version of you and putting all your energy there until you get the outcomes that you want. Number 6 is identifying and working on those limiting beliefs. So as we talked about earlier, when you regulate your nervous system and you build that self-awareness, you will learn about your automatic patterns of thinking. From that, you can identify what belief is holding me back. So if I have frequent intrusive and anxious thoughts about dating, through self-awareness, you may learn that it is a fear of embarrassment or not feeling good enough that is underpinning that anxiety. So that limiting belief is not feeling good enough or caring about what others think about you and therefore being embarrassed. So spending some time working on that belief, reminding yourself every day through affirmations, journaling, in your meditations, I am good enough. I deserve that relationship. That relationship is easy for me. There is an abundance of suitable partners and I'm meeting them all the time. And telling yourself that new story until it beds in. As we said, our brains are a navigation machine. So if we start to shift what our brain is looking for and identifying from I'm not good enough, I'm rejected, I'm about to be embarrassed, and bracing for impact, and can shift its focus to I am good enough, I deserve the best, there's an abundance of available partners, people love to treat me well because I'm confident, because I'm a great person, then you'll start to see more of that. You will start to see more of it in your environment because your brain is looking for it. It will start to bed into your subconscious because you notice more of it. Through positive psychology, because you're thinking more positively, you'll see more positivity and create it in your life and become a positive cycle. And this is an ongoing practice. For every outcome that you want to achieve, when you start working towards it, you will notice doubts, fears, insecurities coming up. So we need to continually identify those limiting beliefs and consciously work to change them. It can feel unsafe to work on limiting beliefs because our body wants to protect us and it identifies patterns to protect us and do that at speed. So when we're changing these limiting beliefs, it can feel unsafe that we are trying to break a pattern, and that's where the nervous system regulation and the self-care and looking after yourself and having an exercise routine all become really important, because we've got that foundation. We start working towards a new outcome which previously felt impossible, and our brain might go danger, danger. And by bringing in those self-care techniques, continuing to ground, doing your nervous system regulation, you're telling your brain and your body, it's safe, I can achieve this, I know I can do it, other people have done it, here's some evidence. And you're changing your story. You're with a regulated nervous system, you're better able to get over those ups and downs in emotions, process them, and continue to move in the direction that you want. And that's what takes you from getting stuck in a setback or a plateau to that next level of confidence and becoming unstoppable. And finally, have fun, let go, and trust. So you've got your routine that builds your foundation of confidence and keeps you regulated. You're clear on the outcomes that you want and you're working towards them. You're becoming this new version of you. You're identifying limiting beliefs and working on them so that none of these limiting beliefs don't continue to hold you back and bring up doubts and fears and anxiety. You're overcoming those. But not everything in life can be serious. You deserve to enjoy your life, make the most of it. Life is short. And sometimes you just got to enjoy it and have fun. Spend time with your friends and family. Spend time doing hobbies and things that you love. And if you're finding you're really stressed about achieving something, it feels really impossible to you, or you feel like you're really pushing and pushing and pushing and you're not getting what you want, sometimes the only option you have left is to just let it go and trust that the universe will provide, God will provide, and it will come towards you. And this was another recent video as well about having trust in the process and faith and being able to let go of the outcome, because often that's when it comes back to you. This is most talked about in dating. Someone will try to win someone over and impress them. And as soon as they let them go, as soon as they get over their ex, who pops up in their text messages the next day? That person. Because they can feel energetically that once you let go of them, often that anxiety and that grip comes from insecurity and not feeling good enough. So as soon as you let go and decide you don't care, it's often because you've decided you deserve better. And suddenly that other person can feel it energetically, even without communication, and boom, they reappear in your life because you've become the version of you that has already had it. So if all else fails, well, you should have fun and enjoy yourself anyway, but continue to practice letting go, trusting, having faith. And if you've been trying and working at something for a long time and it's getting you down and you can't sleep and you can't take care of yourself, that's when to let it go and let it come back to you. And in that recent video, I talked about an example of where I just decided to trust and let go. in my business where lots of the pipeline and potential customers were changing. I couldn't see how it would work itself out. So I decided to every day get up and just let it go and have fun, focus on using the additional time that I had in the short term for other pursuits and projects. And within 2 weeks, I had a completely new pipeline of work. Other opportunities came back around. I was able to use some of the time for traveling. And the more that you practice trusting and letting go, the more you will see how effortless life can be and how the universe can provide. So if you did that trust challenge as part of that video, let us know down below. Let us know how you got on. I hope you found this video helpful. Would love to hear below what your personal confidence routines and tips are, because we're trying to build a community here. So we'd love to please do share with others watching this video. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing. That really helps the channel grow. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.